Chapter 2, Section 2 is all about solving two-step equations, and we're going to start this one right away with our example. This diagram shows the amount of money, like yesterday, that each player starts with in a video game. To be fair, each player should have the same amount of money. If each chest contains the same amount of money, how much must be in each chest, and how do you know? Okay, so much like yesterday, we're going to start with writing an equation for each side and counting how much each has. Okay, so on player 2's side, it might be easiest to count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30. Okay. 30 coins on that, or 30 cents on that side. On player 1's side, we have 5, 6 for sure. Plus we have 3 of those treasure chests that we don't know what they are. Okay, and somehow we have to make those be equal. How are we going to do that? Well, we can start by thinking about, right here, there's 5 cents here, which would kind of cancel out the 5 cents there. And 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so I just took away this 6 from both sides. Okay, that leaves me with a 3x equals 24. Okay, so that means these 3 cases have to have 24 cents in them, and each one of them has to have the same amount of money, because that's what it said up here in the question. Okay, if I have 24 coins and I have to separate it evenly between 3 things, I'm going to divide 24 by 3. That's going to tell me that each treasure chest has 8 coins inside of it. That was a 2-step equation, and that's what we're going to work on today. All right, we're going to jump right in, and we'll go over a couple ways to think about this, and then you choose the one that works best for you. This is asking us, what is the solution of 2x minus 3 equals 15? So that means, what does x have to be to make this true? All right, we can think of it a couple ways. The first way is to undo the order of operations. So we're trying to work backwards. So instead of doing parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract, we're going to add, subtract first, multiply, divide next, then exponents, then parentheses if we have them. Another way to think of it, not very mathematic, but think of it as the couple and the third wheel. Okay, this is our couple, the two that are together. And so we're going to try to get rid of this third wheel first by doing the opposite or inverse operation. Right now it's subtracting 3, so I'm going to add 3. That's doing our adding and subtracting first. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to both sides. This minus 3 and plus 3 cancel each other out. So I'm left with just the 2x. 15 plus 3 is 18. Okay, next, we're looking for multiplication or division. Or if you want to think of the couple and the third wheel, think of this as now the couple, but the date is over, so we have to separate them. And right now it's multiplying, so we need to do the opposite and divide. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that leaves us with just 1x, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. Okay, just like one-step equations, we should probably check our work. So over here to the side, I'm going to put in a 9 wherever I see an x, and I'm going to make sure that it works. 2 times 9 is 18, minus 3 is 15. So we know we got that one right. Okay, using those same rules, what is the solution of 5 equals t divided by 2 minus 3? Okay, if we're thinking couple in the third wheel, that's our couple. So to get rid of this third wheel, or this minus 3, we're going to add 3. So then I will have 8 equals t divided by 2. To separate the couple, I have to do the opposite, which is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 2, multiply by 2. These will cancel each other out, and I will find out that t is equal to 16. Okay, last we're going to check to make sure that that works. 5 is equal to 16 divided by 2 minus 3. Well, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 8 minus 3 is 5, so we know we got it right. Okay, right now would be a great time to pause and see if you can do these two on your own. Remember to do the opposite operations and work backwards in PEMDAS, or think of it as a couple and a third wheel and get rid of that third wheel first. Okay, hopefully you got that x equals -5 and m equals 63. Because now we're moving on to word problems. You are making a bulletin board to advertise community service opportunities in your town. You need to use half a sheet of construction paper for each ad. You need 5 sheets of construction paper for a title banner. You know you have 18 sheets of construction paper. How many ads can you make? Okay, so what we know is that we need a half a sheet per ad and 5 sheets just for the title, and then we only have 18 total. We need to figure out how many ads that will make, and so we need to write an equation and then define our variable. All right, so if I have a total of 18, that's always what everything's going to equal if it's the total. I for sure need 5 sheets for the banner, plus I need a half sheet for every ad. Okay, so we're going to say that x is the number of ads. Okay, then we're going to follow the steps we took before. We're going to start with finding our couple, and we're going to get rid of our third wheel, or our adding and subtracting. So because this is a +5, I need a -5 or a -5 to cancel that out. 18 minus 5 is 13, which leaves us with 13 equals 1/2 times x. Because this is multiplication, I'm going to have to divide next, but in order to divide the fraction, I'm really just going to flip it and multiply by its reciprocal. So instead of dividing by 1/2, I'm going to multiply by 2. Okay, that'll get rid of this part, and we'll find out that x, or our number of ads that we can make, is 26. 26 ads. Problem 2 asks you about a train that is 100 miles away from a station. It's approaching the station at 40 miles per hour. How long will it take for the train to arrive? This one is only a one-step equation, but we have to be able to write it before we can solve it. So 100 miles is how far it has to go total. It's traveling 40 miles per hour. So there's your equation. To undo this and get the h by itself, we need to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing by 40. And h, or the hours, will be 2.5. A fare charges $7.25 for admission and $5.50 for a ride pass. 10 friends visited the fair. Not all the friends purchased ride passes. If their total cost was $105.50, how many friends purchased ride passes? Okay, if 10 friends went and all had to pay admission, I should be able to figure out how much was spent on admission. $7.25 times 10 friends means that $72.50 of their total was just for admission. So we know they paid $72.50 to get in. Plus, they bought ride passes that were $5.50, but we don't know how many. All we do know is that their total bill was $105.50. Okay, so we have this couple right here. and we're going to get rid of, so subtract this third wheel. Okay, so once they paid their admission, how much did they have left to spend on ride tickets? 105.50 minus 72.50 is $33 even. I'm going to divide that into groups of 550 because that's what they had to pay if they wanted a ride pass. And that will tell us that this group of kids bought 6 rides passes. A cafeteria sells entrees and additional items. An entree costs $4.75 and each additional item costs $1.25. The customer pays $9.75 for one entree and some additional items. How many additional items did he purchase? Okay, we know he only bought one of these entrees, so he spent $4.75 on that. Plus, he bought some additional items. We don't know how many, but we do know that each one of them cost $1.25. So $1.25 times however many he bought, plus his entree, cost him $9.75. That is our equation. Okay, to solve it, we're going to keep our couple, get rid of by subtracting our entree payment. Leaves me with $1.25x equals $5. I'm going to split that $5 up into $1.25 groups, which is the additional items. And that will tell me that this person bought 4 additional items to go with their entree. Problem 3, the last problem before you get to work on your homework, is solving with 2 terms in the numerator. Okay, so if that's the case, we want to try to get rid of the denominator. And if you remember, this fraction bar actually means dividing. So the opposite of dividing by 3 is to multiply by 3. Whatever you do to one side, make sure you do to both sides. Okay, so let's try it. Try one problem. The solution of x plus 5 divided by 6 equals 15. I want to get that 6 off the bottom, so I'm going to multiply everything on both sides by 6. That will cancel out the denominator and leave me with just the x plus 5. And 15 times 6 is 90. Then I have just the one step left. I'm going to subtract 5 because that's the opposite of adding. That will tell me that x will equal 85. All right, your assignment for tonight is on page 91, numbers 12 through 22 evens, 23 through 25, 26